Darshini, so is this your first interview?
Yes, sir.
Acha, so we will be going through the tasks while covering the basics,
Okay, sir.
and I will point out the key areas from where questions can come to you in the interview.
Okay,
And
sir.
the idea is ki make a list of the keywords of your DAF after this discussion and send that to me on WhatsApp. I will go through that list. If I think anything has been missed, I will send that to Raj Malhotra's IAS. I will add to that list, and then I will send that to Raj Malhotra's IAS study group. They will develop a question bank.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is how we can do this session.
Yes, sir.
After that, the first thing that you need to keep in mind while preparing for the interview is try to research each and every keyword of your DAF extensively. Don't just depend on the question bank. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That way, you should be able to add value to the conversation. You should be able to tell panel members something new about your DAF or not just your DAF, but the topics of your DAF that they didn't know in advance. That way, they will be interested in what you have to say and what you can contribute to the conversation. Don't go with the mains-like approach in that you have to answer every question and then you don't have to, you should limit your answer to 30 seconds.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You can give a 2-minute long answer as well if you have content. That if you have relevant content that you can present without being repetitive, without being verbose. ठीक है. ठीक है. So
Yes, sir.
be mindful of that. You don't just have to limit your answer to 10 seconds or 30 seconds. If you don't know, you might as well say that I have very limited knowledge about this. I don't know. So that is what I can say. This is all I can contribute to the conversation. But then if you know, you can answer very well. Try to pick and choose the topics where you can answer comprehensively. Try to pick and choose topics that you would be comfortable talking about. That way you can build a good conversation with the panel members. ठीक है.
Okay.
Be mindful that now that now that mains is clear, so everybody who is going to the interview has cleared mains, so everybody can talk about general studies. You need to make sure that your discussion with the panel members stand out. So at least in your DAF, you should not be found wanting, at least in your DAF, unless and until there is an expert present in the interview. You should know more than the panel members do. For that, you need to do extensive preparation. It does just not just happen by chance. Okay.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. So the first thing that you need to prepare for the interview is your own name. ठीक है.
Yes.
So what is the meaning of that name? What you have learned from that, and how have you applied that in your life? What can you bring from that to civil services? ठीक है. उसके बाद prominent personalities by that name, their contribution to public life, what have you learned from them, and what can you bring from that to civil services? उसके बाद the place of your, no, not the place, your date of birth and the date of your interview. So anything important that happened on the date of your birth and the date of your interview will be important by default if it pertains to Indian history, geography, culture, current affairs. Other than that, you can pick and choose the topics that you're comfortable talking about.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You can go to Wikipedia, you will find a list of 300 to 400 events that happened on the date of your birth and the date of your interview. Then you can pick and choose the topics that you're comfortable talking about. Okay. So generally the conversation in this topic begins with, do you know what happened today, or do you know what happened on the date of your birth or the date of your interview? So that way you can
Okay, sir.
start, that way you can carry the conversation. Now, the next thing is the place of your origin, where you come from. Okay. So for you, it is Telangana, Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
So whenever there are states or places in your DAF, you need to prepare on the lines of society, geography, economy, polity, history, culture, current affairs, salient issues. So Telangana ke salient issues can be regarding water conservation, or regarding nationalism, or regarding extreme weather events or heat waves. Okay. Then what has the government done to manage this disaster? Other than that, it can be the impact of climate change, or the Red Sanders issue, or then the river issue of River Musi, or the development of IT industry in Hyderabad. Okay. Then there can be issue of center-state relations, or special category status, or what has the state of how has the state of Telangana been doing since bifurcation? So how are the two daughter states? How are the two daughter states doing? You can say that Maybe it has been beneficial, or maybe it has been detrimental for the progress of the two states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So you need to form your opinion based on data, and rational arguments need to be presented. So those arguments can be in terms of agriculture growth rate, industrial growth rate, service sector ka growth rate, infrastructure development, IMR, MMR, or in terms of whatever parameter you want to choose, can be GSDP, GDP, per capita income, or reduction of inequality, or reduction of poverty, the people below poverty line. So
Yes, sir.
that way you can choose the parameters that you want to base your opinion on. After that, do make sure that you study the ranking of Telangana in indices of central government and the Pradesh in indices of central government. So it can be ranking of state, it can be ranking of districts or cities, whichever is you think is relevant. ठीक है, which or for example HDI ranking, e-governance ranking, startup ranking.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, ये जरूर देख लेना. Have a look at that. After that, well, your optional subject is anthropology and your graduation subject is civil engineering.
Yes,
Okay, so what is the impact of anthropology on civil engineering? Like, how are the structures built in primitive societies different from the modern structures? Basically, the idea is the interview panel members are all too fond of asking questions that draw from your multiple of your topics from your DAF.
sir.
ठीक है? तो try to explore the commonalities between your optional subject and the graduation subject. What can you do as a civil engineer to promote development in tribal areas? How is the development of structures different in tribal areas or in remote areas compared to areas which are well connected with the modern cities or which have proper infrastructure facilities and development. उसके बाद initiatives taken by Government of India for the welfare of scheduled tribes. How are scheduled tribes notified? मतलब what is the process for a group to be notified as a scheduled tribe? After that, what are the provisions of Forest Rights Act, Environment Protection Act, Biodiversity Act, and status of implementation of salient schemes of Government of India for the welfare of scheduled tribes. ये जरूर देख लेना. ठीक
Yes,
है.
sir.
Have a look at that. Okay, after that, tribal supplant, tribal punch shield. Then, has the Land Acquisition Act, in your opinion, been fair to the members of scheduled tribes?
Yes, sir.
What provisions would you change if you think it has been unfair? Then they can also go into static regarding what is cultural relativism in anthropology, famous anthropologists. What have you learned from them? What can you bring from anthropology to administration? Recently, which archaeological sites have been excavated?
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. After that, sometimes they tend to ask you, why did you choose anthropology? Because the syllabus is less and it can be completed in 4 months. Or so be ready with these questions. Why
Yes, sir.
can't you do developmental work for Sentinelese tribe? Or what are criminal tribes? मतलब which tribes were given this tag of criminal tribes, or do you agree with this or not? What are denotified tribes? What is the opinion of rehabilitation of tribals from protected areas? Should it be done or not?
Okay, sir.
Then, do you think tribal schemes have been successful in India? How do we ensure the rights of forest dwellers? And then, what is the status of implementation of Forest Rights Act in your area, in your state, or in your district? What are PVTGs? What are the criteria based on which a group is called a PVTG? Where you have mentioned maths, physics, chemistry in your DAP.
Yes.
So latest developments in physics, chemistry, maths, who has won the Nobel Prize, who has won the Fields Medal. उसके after that, then geopolitical, geostrategic implications of the theories that won the Nobel Prize. How has it worked for public welfare? What are the initiatives for promotion of sciences in India? Then do make sure that you prepare civil engineering from the point of view of sustainable development. Role of civil engineering in sustain. How can civil engineering promote sustainable development? How can civil engineering
Yes, sir.
in the achievement of sustainable development goals? What can you bring from civil engineering to civil service? This was the question that was asked to me. So you will mention the technical aspects and non-technical aspect as well. Like technical aspects, where you can mention safety engineering or environmental engineering, wastewater management, freshwater management, sustainable development, or disaster management. urban planning, those factors, transport and traffic engineering or irrigation engineering, water resources management. So that is one thing that you can mention, but then try to mention the non-technical aspects as well. Otherwise, they can very well question you that we have engineers for that. Why do we need you? Or you can go to engineering service if you want to do that.
Okay.
So non-technical aspects like can be the values that you learned in civil engineering, like factor of safety, frugality, simplicity, citizen centricity, punctuality. Okay, so that you need to show how you learned from civil engineering and how you can incorporate in civil services. Then they can ask you the practical aspects like how do you assess the age of a building? What is the life of a building? Do you think that ancient structures have survived hundreds of thousands of years, but then our structures don't survive well? So do you think that is a fault of engineering? Do you think now recently engineers are not that skilled or proficient that their buildings don't survive? What is the reason for that? And do you think that way or not? And then if you think that way, then what is the reason for that? After that, they can also go into what are the shortcomings in civil engineering, the way it is practiced on the field? What is the reason for so much corruption in civil engineering that is often reported in news? Okay.
Okay.
After that, they can ask you practical application oriented questions that an educated, aware layman might ask, like what is the cost of low income housing or high income housing per square foot?
Okay, sir.
They can also go into Indian Institute of Technology. So IITs में or about civil engineering, I'll share my notes with you. ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
So IITs में the salient issues are like mental health issues, issues of the suicides that have happened in IIT that have been reported in newspapers, or then they can the issue of brain drain, or then should new IITs be set up or not? Governance and regulation of IITs. What is the governance model? Then autonomy of IITs. Are there issues regarding autonomy of IITs? Then sometimes some people tend to criticize that socially relevant research does not happen at IITs. So do you agree with that? And do you agree with that? So if you agree with that, then what can be the solutions? And if you don't agree, so then you can cite the examples of how socially relevant research is being done. What are the initiatives of Government of India to promote socially relevant research? Then lab to field transmission, industry academia linkage, lab to field transmission of knowledge and industry funding of research. Then IPR regime in India. उसके बाद IIT पटना में तो what differences did you find? मतलब you are from Telangana and then you went to
Yes,
Patna.
sir.
So compare the social structure of Patna and Hyderabad.
Okay, sir.
I was asked this question, compare the social structure of Bhopal and Kanpur because I went to Kanpur.
Okay, sir.
You should be ready to compare two places you have been in terms of society, geography, economy, polity, history, culture, current affairs.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है.
Yes.
उसके बाद फिर ranking of IITs, Times Higher Education, QS News. So what are the parameters? Do you agree with the ranking? What is NIRF? What is institutions of eminence? What is institutions of national importance? Okay. Then what has been the impact of IPR policy? Research में what are the initiatives to promote research in India like Imprint, Inspire, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan? Then sales officer I&C at Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. ठीक है. तो HPCL में तो they can go into disinvestment, privatization, energy sector. और फिर हाँ from civil engineering they can go into disaster management or do study the disaster management act properly. Disaster Management Act, National Policy for Disaster Management, National Institute of Disaster Management, National Disaster Management Authority, and various types of disasters. And what as a civil engineer can you do? What are the roles of various levels of governance in disasters? After that, they can also go into energy sector. So renewable, non-renewable energy initiatives for promotion of renewable energy policies regarding that.
Yes, sir.
Then they can also go into share of various sources of renewable energy in the total contribution of renewable energy, INDC, share offshore wind energy policy, then hydropower policy, then sources of renewable energy like solar, wind, hydro.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. Solar, wind, hydro, and then geothermal, piezoelectric. Then contribution and then biofuel policy for second, third, fourth generation biofuels. Where Institute Silver Medal at IIT Patna, very good research internship, UG research internship at North Carolina State University on intelligent transport systems. See then smart cities, intelligent transport systems, traffic engineering, transportation engineering, latest technologies in civil engineering, that will become important for you. What is the practical application of your research? Was it practically applicable or was it not? So
Okay.
what were the shortcomings? What improvements can be made? Research internship, since you have already mentioned research, so why aren't you going into research? Why are you coming to civil services? You have mentioned North Carolina State University, so India, US relations.
Okay, sir.
That will be important for you. India, US, India, Russia, then defense technology trade initiative, civil nuclear deal. What other agreements are there? What are the points of friction? What does India trade, export and import products from US? Indo-Pacific में role of US and India. Difference in approach, Quad, AUKUS, what is that? What is India's stand regarding that? Why did India back out of RCEP? Was it a right decision in your opinion or not? Then Indian Academy of Sciences Fellowship at ISC Bangalore on autonomous vehicle motion planning. Okay, so you have been into autonomous vehicles as well. So
Yes, sir.
robotics, automation, AI, big data, cyber security, all these will become important for you. Impact of robotics on society, economy, and international relations, global conventions to regulate artificial intelligence, strategy on AI, advances made by India in terms of promotion of science and technology, policy regarding science and technology. Then you went to Bangalore as well. So why did you pursue sciences as your career? What are the levels of autonomous cars? Till which level can you delegate or give functions to the car to do itself? So there are I think 6 levels of autonomous cars.
Okay.
So what is the what can what initiatives can you take to promote autonomous vehicles in India?
Okay, sir.
Which autonomous vehicles are already in use in India in public transport? There are actually some autonomous vehicles. You should research it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Delhi Metro is a good example of uh, autonomous vehicle. It is not entirely autonomous, but then several functions which usually should be done by humans are done automatically. Where then badminton. So badminton, whenever there are sports in your DAF, you need to prepare on the lines of rules and regulations, history, strategy, evolution, technique, technology, personalities, associated initiatives for promotion of sports in general, and initiatives for promotion of sport, badminton in particular. Then static terminology regarding like birdie, center line, back alley, and size of badminton court for doubles, mixed doubles, singles,
Okay, sir.
and weight of the racket, shape of the racket, material of the racket, major sporting academies in India for badminton. Then team lead NIRDA sponsored project for autonomous pavement distress detection. So significant research aspects are there in your DAF, and then they can also go into infrastructure projects, latest
Okay.
technologies in use in that. So what are smart pavements? What are forgiving roads? Okay, what is adaptive buildings, shape-shifting buildings, breathing buildings? What is programmable cement? ठीक है. Then self-healing concrete क्या होता है? What is self-healing concrete? फिर overall festival coordinator, IITP Civil Engineering Fest. So what challenges did you face? What events did you organize? What were the resources? What are the timeline needed for organization of an event? ठीक है.
Yes.
Should these lakhs and crore rupees events are organized in IITs? Do you think it is justifiable? After that, they can also go into marketing and sponsorship coordinator, IITP Cultural Festival. ठीक है. तो initiatives taken by Government of India for conservation and promotion of Indian culture, attached offices and bodies working in that. It can be NGOs like Speak McKay or like Sangeet Natak Academy, Sahitya Academy, Lalit Kala Academy, major awards and honors given, or marketing and sponsorship coordinator. So how did you, what techniques did you do for marketing, use for marketing? So it can be regarding use of social media, electronic media, digital media, print media. Okay. Then design a marketing campaign for the promotion of XYZ government scheme.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. So be ready for questions like that. Welfare Secretary at IITP Gymkhana. So what initiatives did you take as the welfare secretary? What challenges do students face in college? What can you do for the welfare of student community through policy making? It can be mental health, physical health, vocational education, and skill development or personality development in terms of soft skill. Because it was said once that 80% of engineers in India lack soft skills. So what can be done for that? ठीक है. उसके बाद participating in model United Nations. So has United Nations been successful or not?
Okay, sir.
So do you think reforms need to be brought in, especially in the Atlantic Charter, or what are the enemy states in the Charter of United Nations? What reforms would you want to bring in UNSC? Has it been successful in Russia-Ukraine conflict? What topic did you talk about when you participated in United Nations? Do prepare the general studies aspect of it properly.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then pursuing transportation engineering research publications on network planning and advanced driver assistance systems. They will ask you the practical applications of that, and a lot of it of your research has to do with IT. So do make sure that you prepare well the advances in the field of information technology, be it AI, AR, VR, Internet of Things, big data, cybersecurity, Information Technology Act, or Information Technology Rules and Data Personal Data Protection Act, and use of AI or in fact digital technology in governance. So what is the status of digital national e-governance mission?
Okay, sir.
Then your cadre preferences are Telangana, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Odisha. Telangana, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Odisha, and then West Bengal. Okay, nothing wrong with that. फिर IPS में तेलंगाना, महाराष्ट्र, राजस्थान, उड़ीसा, वेस्ट बंगाल. सर्विस प्रेफरेंस में IAS, देन कस्टम्स, इनकम टैक्स, फिर फॉरेन सर्विस, नहीं फिर IPS, देन फॉरेन सर्विस, देन audit and account, then railway management, then civil account, then ninth is defense estate, 10th is defense accounts. Okay. Anything that you want to ask or discuss, you can tell me. Otherwise, this is pretty much it from my side.
Sir, in general, while preparing for a particular DAF topic or DAF keyword, like while preparing the answer for it, like can I rely on a mains kind of conditioning, or should I like work on it for something else, like more
I have
practical?
I have explained that in my interview guidance program. It is available on my Telegram channel. I'll give you the link. Message me.
Okay.
I'll give you the link, and then you can follow
Okay.
it. You can understand the entire strategy.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Anything else?
Nothing in specific, sir.
Chalo, then good luck. Take care. Do
Thank you.
get back to me with the list of
Keyword.
topics or the keywords of your DAF. So that way you can get the question bank made from them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so then good luck. Take care.
Thank you, sir.